English we can follow directly.
And the religious instruction shall be voluntary.
Attending religious service is not mandatory, it's voluntary. I have decided to go, but I've been denied for 68 days. Therefore,
my right of worship
is, arguing in English, my right to worship has been gravely violated, my legal right. And I've informed my advocates throughout. They have fought for me so hard, but they have failed. Number 3. Where am I living in the prison? Where am I living exactly while in prison, Ukonga prison? Honorable Magistrate, Ukonga prison has 2 main parts or sections. There's the first place where all prisoners under prison life term, 30 years term, detainees stay. They're grouped there together. And then there is one place, it's called a special wing, where prisoners under death sentence stay, those that have been convicted. It's those where I am dwelling with those awaiting execution. So he's staying with the death row prisoners. Therefore, Honorable Magistrate, if you're on the death row, what does that mean? Let me read the law for you. What does that imply? That is Regulation 33. Talks about those on the death row. This is what it reads, and it reads in English.
Notwithstanding anything contained in these regulations, a prisoner under sentence of death shall A. be confined apart from other prisoners and shall be under the constant supervision of 2 prison officers by day and by night.
If you're on the death row, as I am, if I'm convicted of death, at least not yet, probably I will be, the law says those on death row, those convicted and subjected to death penalty, are supposed to be separated from other prisoners, all other prisoners. I've been on the death row from Sunday, from Friday towards Easter, up to this day as we speak today. And if I have to go and meet my advocates or my relatives, there were 2 prison officers that go with me, as it is required for those under death row.
Under constant surveillance
I am under constant surveillance by day and night. I'm not convicted of death, but I stay on the death row and under constant surveillance by day and by night. You still have certain rights and entitlements. You have rights according to these regulations. For example, I talked about the right to worship, the right to worship. He's reading directly in English.
To receive visits by a minister of the religious denomination to which the prisoner belongs. For hata wabego wana haki ya kuabudu. Wote wanakataliwa.
All prisoners, even in death row, are supposed to worship, but they are denied this right, including I personally. If you're on the death row, even when you are convicted of death, a prisoner under the sentence of death,
Shall be allowed such amount of
he's reading in English,
as the commissioner may like that. Wanaruhusiwa kufanya mazoezi.
Prisoners on the death row are allowed to exercise.
Kufanya mazoezi.
To exercise.
Kwenye chumba changu napokaa mheshimiwa.
Where I am living,
Hapo death row. Death row imezungukiwa na
the death row is surrounded by a thick wall.
pia chumba ya selo nayokaa.
Behind the prison cell where I am, there is a huge stadium, a football stadium,
Kila siku
and all prisoners go there to play football and walk around. For those that are interested, for those that want to run, they do exercises as far as they want, except
walioko death row.
prisoners in the death row.
Wa death row hawatoki
These
nje ya death row.
cannot go outside the death row walls. They don't have an opportunity to exercise, which the law said they're permitted to exercise.
Sasa mimi siwezi kucheza mpira.
No, I cannot play football
Miguu yangu iko
because, as you see, the condition of my legs,
chini,
but
huwa nafanya mazoezi ya kutembea.
I can walk as a form of exercise. And since I've been on the death row,
Kila siku kuanzia
every day,
Jumatatu mpaka
from
Ijumaa,
Monday to Friday,
napumzika Jumamosi na Jumapili.
I just rest on Saturday and Sunday because God rested on the seventh day, so I rest.
From Monday to Friday,
But from Monday to Friday, I walk around
hizo block 4
the 4 blocks
ziko
on the death row because there are 4 blocks.
sasa.
No,
Hilo eneo nalotembelea
this area,
ni mifereji ya maji machafu.
there are streams of wastewater.
Machafu.
The place that I walk
Na ni maeneo ambayo
around,
wafungwa
and these are places where prisoners on death row go to wash their clothes.
na wanataka wakitoka kutolewa asubuhi wanatoka hapa.
This is where they go in the morning to rest. For me, I am supposed to negotiate on these streams of wastewater, and one leg is not working properly thanks to unknown assailants that attacked me.
Natembea kila siku
I walk every day,
na siku zote na
and all days
pia kwamba
I have this fear that what happens if I trip and fall down,
kwa sababu
because
mifereji ya maji machafu
these streams of dirty water or wastes
ya mazoezi.
are not for purposes of
Maeneo ya
exercises.
mazoezi ni uwanja mkubwa ulioko nyuma ya ndege.
For exercises, there's a big playing ground behind these corridors of death rows. But since Good Friday until this day today, 6th, 8th day today, I've never been permitted, or anyone else in the death row,
Kwenda
to go
kufanya mazoezi.
to go and exercise. And the law says they are permitted to do that. Therefore, Honorable Magistrate, I have said
regulating the prisoners in the death row. What are the regulations of Prisons Act? Item 58. Look at the item 72, Honorable Magistrate. Section 72 of the Prisons Act.
A prisoner under the sentence of death shall be confined apart from other prisoners in a special cell or ward, and the treatment.
Okay, he's not speaking in English. You can proceed with him.
The treatment of the prisoner under sentence of death shall be as may be prescribed.
And the law, the prison services says, for us who are not on death row inmates, we are not supposed to be mixed with the death row prisoners. So it is now in the act. I have told my advocates for the 6 to 80 days that I've been in the prison, they have tried their best, but they didn't make it. They have failed. Now, Honorable Magistrate, my advocates have told me that I'm now coming to the court, Honorable Court. My advocates have told me that they have raised these issues before your Honorable Court. They have raised these issues on these violations of the rights of the prisoner or the detainees. They have drawn your attention on this unlawful treatment of the remand prisoners. And have told me that the response that they got, that the court cannot interfere prison services regulations. Now, Honorable Magistrate, this stand, if it is true, if it's true that you have told them this stand violates the law principles of this country, you are completely out of step with the law of the country. Honorable Magistrate, you are visiting justice here. You are one of the people who visit prisons. This law says that in Regulation 48, I'm looking for that section. Kindly be patient with me. But the input of the provision is that a magistrate is a visiting justice of all prisons under his jurisdiction. You are a visiting justice of all prisons here in Dar es Salaam, including Ukonga Central Prison. Why do we say that you are a visiting justice in that regard? Is it because you are an honorable magistrate? You are a judicial officer. You are a judicial officer. As a judicial officer, your duty does not end by the time you sentence a person. You have also to continue, even for those who have been condemned to the prisons or to the remand prisons. You continue to supervise their treatment while they are in prison. Now let me take you to the regulations of Mandela Principles. Principle 4 of the Mandela Principles. It says any form of detention or imprisonment and all measures affecting the human rights of the person and any form of detention or the imprisonment shall be ordered by or be subjected to effective control by judicial other authorities. Any form, yes, Principle 4 of the Mandela Principles. And when they have been called the principles, Mandela Principles, but the amendment of the Board of Principles of the protection of all persons under any form of detention or imprisonment. Any form of detention or imprisonment, and all the measures affecting the human rights of the person under any form of detention or imprisonment shall be ordered by. I can't really follow him. Is he speaking in English? I've said, Honorable Magistrate, this word, other authority, is translated here, and I'm going to give you the proper provision that has translated that. But what is its impression here? It is the court, in my opinion. It refers to the court. It is the court that is supposed to have effective control over prisoners and detainees. So your duty does not end when you said take him or her to the prison. Your duty continues. That's why you visit prisons. And I've been told that recently I've been visiting prisoners as justice. I've been told that about that. And I've been making follow-up on such issues. Now, Honorable Magistrate, the legal provision here is that it is this honorable court that is supposed to oversee, to control the implementation of...
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. David Costa, the Dean and CEO here at Robert Kennedy College in Zurich, Switzerland. And
else, it is this honorable court, not the prison services officer. And I've told my advocates about this problem. They have tried their best, valiantly, they faltered, but in vain. Now, Honorable Magistrate, there are so many things, but I'm going to summarize. Others, of course, we are going to, when we go to the High Court, we are going to raise them there. But for the things that I've raised here before the Honorable Court, my advocates, I thank you so much for your hard work. You fought professionally, you did your duty, and you did it professionally. It is time to step aside. And let me do what I should do, I must do. Kindly follow him because he's speaking in English. Now, Honorable Magistrate, from now on, I'm going to represent myself against the public advocates. Thank you so much for your attention. Microphone, please. We are not getting the voice in the booth. Microphone, please. Therefore, from now on, the arguments are going to be responded to between the public prosecutors on the side of the part of the republic and the defendant until he says otherwise. So now I request my advocates to come back, but now from now on, the defendant is going to represent himself as he has requested, and his request has been accepted, and the advocates have adhered to his request. Now from now on, it is between the public prosecutors and the defendant himself. Honorable Magistrate, I would like to request another thing, that is aside. May I please get a chair so that I can write, because this chair is too small, because I cannot, of course, sit comfortably here. Okay. The Republic, please, you have the floor. There are so many arguments that have been raised by the defendant, and I hope that you have recorded them accordingly. Honorable, do you see now the communication between my advocates? But please listen. I've already ruled out. I've already provided the. Now you are going to proceed on your own, please. What is the problem here? What is the problem, Honorable Mgwai? Mpoki, what are you saying? What is the problem here? So now, I give instructions. When you are in the court, all security officers, when you are in the court, Honorable Court, as an advocate, you want to give anything to the defendant, please proceed without any obstruction. If there is an argument, it should be addressed to me directly. But it is not bad to know before you share it, so that there is no any misunderstanding. Noted, Honorable Magistrate.
Prosecution side. Honorable Magistrate, as we directed, his voice is really down. Our contention is, we have heard a lot that the accused has brought before your attention. If we understood him very well, they targeted to inform this court the reason why he does not want advocates to represent him. If we understood him very well, he was giving reasons why he thinks that he should defend himself. Another thing is one of the reasons why of informing your honorable court why he wants to defend himself, even though your honorable court has decided that they have discharged advocates, the defense advocates. We also think it's wise, because 110, Section 110 of the Criminal Procedure Act allows the prisoner or the accused person to be represented, but anyone can deny their right to legal representation in lieu of representing themselves. So if the court has agreed that if the accused has denied his right to legal representation, then he has the right, and the court has ruled out that. But if you come to the fundamental issues that he has raised, these are issues that go directly on the prison's services, as now he has been treated. And there was no any other issue that here we are supposed to answer or respond to. The issue has been brought on his side, which means the prison's services haven't been heard on the issue. But if I understood him, Honorable Magistrate, I don't think this issue or the issues he raised on how he is being treated in prison, I don't think they came here for your Honorable Court to give a decision or rule on them. If we understood him, but he was giving reasons why he thinks he doesn't want to be represented by his advocates in favor of defending himself. But if there is any other issue where he believes prison services or any officer in the prison services hasn't done what the law says they should do, we say still he has a legal right to pray for prerogative orders, and specifically mandamus. And he says, and he's really a senior advocate, well experienced. He understands what is supposed to be done in order to pray for the reliefs that is requested to a competent court. And these are asked or prayed for. This is Regulation 4. Regulation 4 of Law Reform, Fatal Accidents and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, regulations, rules. Law Reform, Fatal Accidents in brackets, Miscellaneous Provisions, Judicial Review, Procedure and Fees, 2014. Rule 4 allows or speaks about procedures for judicial review, and also it gives reliefs directly. And if you use this application, that's when now will be given the opportunity for both sides to be heard, and not in the same way or not in the manner in which your court received information which is one-sided. If laws are present and they've been cited and the prison services haven't received them and he believes they've been violated, then he needs to follow procedures because he's an advocate, rather than requesting for the court to give an order, because it will be giving a mandamus order, and this is not a proper avenue for this application. Implied it's like an application has been brought for prerogative order, but without formal application.
Have you been sitting on a smart business idea and need to get it online? GoDaddy makes it fast and easy with user-friendly products and tools to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. Plus, get AI to help build your business for you with the
From the parts of the Republic